How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I'm going to be doing my review for Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3. But first, remember, if you guys are new, make sure to check out my social media and vlogging channel down in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so first things first, did I actually like this episode, and did I think it actually delivered going into this episode? Obviously, there was a lot of hype built up, and yeah, basically just did this episode deliver to all that hype? Not really, to be honest. Like, it was a great episode, but the whole fucking series, I felt, has been building up to this. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's been building up to Cersei and the King's Landing battle that will probably play out in the finale or episode 5. Maybe that was the whole point of the show. But I always thought the whole point of the show was the White Walkers. They were the, I guess, ultimate threat of the series. And I feel like the whole show was building up to this moment. And for it to be done within like an hour and a half, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like that was cheap to me. I kind of felt like this didn't really deliver. But nonetheless, it was still a great episode, and I'm very, very surprised about the deaths. So I'm going to be giving a spoiler warning now. So if you have not seen this episode, do not watch any further because I'm going to be spoiling the shit out of it. But the death toll. Well, we had Ed from the Night's Watch, which I didn't really care about. I mean, yeah, it's kind of sad, I guess, for Sam and when Jon finds out, but it was kind of expected. Then we had Lyanna Mormont. A lot of other people expected her to die. Again, I didn't really care too much. She went out really awesome, though. Like, she was a total badass in this episode. Then we also had Beric, and I expected him to die, so yeah, I thought his death was fine. I didn't think it was amazing. I thought he would, like, sacrifice. I mean, he sacrificed himself, but it just kind of seemed weird. Like, he just got stabbed a bunch of times. I don't know. It's just like, I think they could have done a little bit better with his death, but that's just me. Then we had Theon, which is a major death, which not too many people expected him to die, I don't think. But when the Night King arrives and he's with Bran, you kind of expected at that moment in time, like, all right, Theon's gone. And yeah, Theon went out perfectly. I think the way Theon went out was really well done. So props to that, the way he went out. I really liked that. And then the other major character death was Jorah. Jorah Mormont. Yeah, I was kind of sad about that, but not too many people were talking about him, like if he was actually going to die in this episode. Me, however, I actually thought he would. So when he died, I was like, okay, I could kind of see where this is going. And then I guess the other big death was the Night King himself. And again, I feel like it was just a bit rushed, in my opinion. Like, I don't really know. I think the whole series was building up to this point, and for the Night King to actually die, and like for all of the White Walkers to be done with, that's just like really crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm sorry. Just because I didn't think this episode really lived up to the hype does not mean I don't think this was a good episode. Like, honestly, guys, I thought this was a good episode. I really did. But the only negative I had with it is that it's, like, really darkly, like, dimly lit. Like, I could not see it. I was watching it on, and it was, like, so dark to me. I don't know why. So I had to turn my brightness up. But, yeah, that was kind of annoying. I don't really know. If it was like that for anyone. Maybe my eyes are bad. Probably that. But yeah, I was like, what? We also had the return of, actually the other character death, I should say, well, because I want to get into it, is Melisandre. Melisandre actually returned. And I think a lot of people actually predicted that, but she died at the very end of this episode. They ended her off, they ended the episode off with her death. Which, I mean, she pretty much did her purpose. Like, she fulfilled her, I guess, character. I don't really know. I think the way they ended her off was fine. But yeah, a lot of characters who, I mean, me personally, I expected a lot of other people to die. Like Grey Worm, I thought for sure was going to die, and I thought for sure Brienne and Tormund, but they're still alive. I mean, I guess props to them. I thought Brienne for sure was gonna die, honestly. I think they probably should have swapped her death with Jorah, to be honest. I mean, or just added her. Like, I think they didn't kill off as many characters as I thought they would, to be honest. But they still killed off some pretty big characters. Like Jorah and Theon were the pretty big ones of this episode. All the action in this episode as well was pretty intense. I thought the beginning of this episode wasn't that great, to be honest. Like, I thought it was like, okay, this is fine. But there were some dragon battles, which was super awesome. And I don't think any of the dragons died. I think Viserion actually died because obviously he was a white, but I think all the dragons survived. Unless there was one that died. I don't really remember. But I actually did like this episode. I don't want to hate on it because I do think it's one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones. The best? I don't really think so, but it was still a good episode. Anyway, guys, let me hear your thoughts on it down in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Boop.